Hello, my friends. I am here to chat to you a little bit about how we do art in our homeschool. Hey there, if you are new around here, my name is Christine and I am a homeschooling mom to 3 kids aged 7, 5, and 3. This is our 3rd year homeschooling and I share all about it here on my YouTube channel. So please go ahead and subscribe if you want to see more and keep up to date with us. I try and put out a video every week for you. And so, yeah, I'd love to have you here. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about how I teach art in our homeschool because this is something I've been asked a few times now and I wanted to address it and just say that it's not a big deal. Like it really, really isn't, and especially when you have younger children because I feel like they're just so artistically inclined. Maybe not in the way that you might consider art to look, but they are. They are creators, they are explorers. That is their natural inclination at that age. And so I'm just going to chat about what we do formally and then what we do informally. And also just that this is our first year actually doing formal art lessons. Like I said, my kids are 7, 5, and 3. And before this, we have not done anything formal. We've just kind of done the odd thing here and there, but it has, this was just the first year. I was like, yeah, let's do something. And it kind of tied in really well with the history that we're doing this year. And so that is why I went ahead and did it. So I did share about the art curriculum that we're using this year in my group subjects video, which I can link for you here. And that curriculum is from Yellow Spot Sun. And that was recommended. It's been recommended lots of times by Abby from Rooted in Rest. I love Abby. She's very, very sweet. And she is expecting her 5th baby very soon. I'm very excited for her. But I feel like she's like my big sister in the homeschool world. So go check her out especially if you are a new homeschool mom. You will find a lot of encouragement on her channel. But she recommends Yellow Spot Sun. And so when I was looking at different curriculums, I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do for art this year. There were a few that were like nature study / art curriculums, and we were already doing our own nature study. And so I didn't want to like double up on that. And so Yellow Spot Sun fitted the bill because she has got loads of different courses you can do. She's actually got many free courses as well, so you can give it a go and see if it just suits your kids. But what I ended up doing was picking her course on the 7 Wonders of the Ancient World because that tied in so very beautifully with our history curriculum this year. We're using Story of the World. We're still on volume 1, and so it's kind of ancient times. And so it works. It just ties in very nicely to be studying art and studying history all in the same time span. And so we took a course that is meant for being done over 6 weeks, although she does offer alternate schedules. And I'm stretching it to go the entire length of the year because I did not want to do art more than once a week. Okay. I am not someone who likes big messes and all that. And we just have busy days. And so I didn't want to have to like make it a big deal. So we do that once a week. And sometimes it's just observing things around us and drawing those. Sometimes it's watching a video and doing an art lesson along with it. Sometimes it is reading the history of the place that we're studying. It just depends. But it's lovely. And she works with lots of different mediums. And there's lots of ways for children to just explore. And honestly, I just really appreciate her whole mindset behind art and how she refers to like a mistake as a beautiful oops, because then you figure out how to work it into your art instead of being like, oh no, I have to start again. And I love that for my children, one child in particular who is a real perfectionist, and how we can like pivot instead of always just like giving up when we don't get things absolutely perfectly right. There is beauty in mistakes. So I've really enjoyed using that curriculum, and that is what we use for our like spine for art. The second thing that we do as a formal thing is picture study. Now, we fell off the bandwagon with it in our 2nd term, but we're picking it up again in our 3rd term because we really did enjoy it. Now, picture study is something that comes from Charlotte Mason. It's one of her like philosophies. You can go on to Simply Charlotte Mason's YouTube channel to find some really great videos explaining it to you. Essentially, it's not like a stuffy formal art lesson. It is just observing pictures and appreciating them and learning to pick up on details and stuff like that. It's a very gentle, quick process. And so Simply Charlotte Mason does actually have a picture study curriculum, but I decided this year that I was going to use the curriculum from Ambleside Online because it is very affordable. I can print the pictures at home and it is perfectly fine for us. And so all the work is done for you on Ambleside Online. They have the artist picked out for each term, and it works very well because it's in 6-week segments, just like we do our school. And they've got all the pictures there that you can print out, and they usually have a picture study guide to go with it where it's got like a biography of the artist. Okay, my camera battery died, and then I had to search high and low for my second battery, but I'm back. So we were talking about picture study, and Ambleside Online is what we use for our picture study. And so I print out the pictures, and I just have one like up on our display board all week long, and then we do like a just very short time of picture study, which, like I said, if you go into the Simply Charlotte Mason YouTube channel, she discusses in depth how you practically do that with your children. But my kids really enjoy it, and I've been learning, and I like to record like the artists in our what do you call it? Oh, Book of Centuries. That's what it is. And our Book of Centuries is from Anna Vance Paper Co. Really love it, along with my planner is what I use from her. So those are the formal ways that we study art and learn about art. But art is not something that is confined to a formal curriculum. In fact, I would argue that not a single subject is confined to a curriculum. But art, I feel like, especially in the early years, can be learned in so many different ways. And so for me, I always have like paper and crayons and other, forms of coloring available to my children. And all of my kids, to one extent or another, take advantage of that, especially my middle child, but my bookends do as well. They both really enjoy coloring in at certain times and making books and different projects and things like that. And so we always have those available. I've got Play-Doh and other sensory activities where they can create things that is practicing art. Those little diamond art sets that you can get where like they make pictures by sticking little plastic diamond things to them. That has been a really good quiet time activity, and my kids really enjoy doing that. And then sometimes we do a bit of art with our nature study. We might do sketching or, just drawing. And of course, in their other school subjects is always like illustrations required and things like that. And so that is how art is incorporated into basically every single day, because my kids practice it whether formally or informally in one way or another. And so if you are new to homeschooling or you have very young children, don't feel intimidated and feel like you have to add a formal art curriculum in. You don't. There is plenty of time for that. They will naturally seek it out in whatever way they're comfortable doing it. And so even just providing things like Play-Doh for your young child is a great way for them to express themselves creatively. And there's lots of other benefits playing with that as well, so many other benefits. And so it's never just like one thing. Like in school, when we're teaching, we tend to like compartmentalize subjects into these different boxes. But in reality, in life, everything interconnects. And so don't feel like art has to be this one thing that's done on its own. It can just happen in everyday life. Baking is art. There's so many ways to be creative. So I hope this video was helpful and that you enjoyed it. And yeah, I will see you next time. Bye-bye.
What if the world had more of your smile? What if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness could reach everyone? There'd be no wars,